So with Liga MX final right around the corner, literally it's going to be tomorrow, the first leg, and the second leg will be over the weekend. I think it's time we talk about our predictions, the previews, kind of recapping also what happened in the semifinals, but that will just be a little bit of a short topic. Main thing is going to be the preview and predictions for the final between Toluca and America. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys subscribe, like, check out all the platform links down below. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Charla Football. I'm your host, as always, Gerardo, and with me, Tomas. Thank you for hopping on. Bro, I'm excited for the Liga MX final, first versus second. They're honestly the two best teams in Liga MX, obviously, given that they finished respectively in those spots, and then given that the way they've been playing as well. So, first off, how are you doing? Are you ready for this final, bro?
No, yeah, I'm completely ready. I've been waiting for a game like this in a while. I feel like Toluca's finally in a stride where we seen that they should be. I
Mm-hmm.
mean they're perfect right now. Alexis Vega's fucking flying.
Yeah. And I think it's like the perfect. I think it's the perfect final because I mean, you look at last year when it was Monterrey America, like Monterrey, the way they got there was kind of the panzazo. Like same thing with America, where it was just like Monterrey wasn't clearly the better team, or like, you could argue for America easily winning that game too. Or same thing with the year before. I mean, that was a little bit of a tighter match between Cruz Azul and America, but I think with this game, like it could swing either way. With maybe Toluca being just slightly favorites because they did end off in first place, but yeah, it could swing either way.
Yeah, I mean this is one of the only finals where I've seen that it's 1 versus 2. You know, the winner of the regular season versus I mean
The subcampeon of the regular season.
the regular
Technically,
season.
if we were to be playing it like that, you're right.
And
So,
this has a lot to do with taking out gol de visitante.
mhm.
I mean we went like 26 years without super leader winning a trophy because of that point because they would lose in the Gol Visitante, they would get eliminated.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
two,
Now let's talk about first before we get into the final preview. Let's talk about what happened in the semifinals real quick. Obviously, Toluca won, America won. Um, I think Toluca were clearly dominant over Tigres. I want to mainly before talking about the factual finalists, I want to talk about what happened with what went wrong for Tigres first, and then what went wrong for Cruz Azul as well. Starting with Tigres, I mean, we already know Tigres. They haven't been convincing at all this season. They let go of their coach mid-season. They brought in an unexperienced coach in Guido Pizarro, and then just the way they play, they're very stagnant. They don't really have many ideas going forward. They kind of depend on individual brilliance because they have great individual players like Lainez, like Jose Herrera, Goriaran in the midfield, Bruneta, who's the difference maker. But overall, I mean, it was some of those individuals that they've been holding on to for a while that cost them. And the one I'm going to highlight specifically is Javier Aquino, who got cooked against Alexis Vega. Like he got cooked for the third goal to make it 3-0, and then the second goal against Juanpi when he cuts him like el recorte, like right in front of Nahuel Guzman, leaves him like 1v1, like with the goalkeeper. Yeah, as a defender who's not even a real defender like Javier Aquino is, you have to do a lot better. But at his age, I mean, to be playing all the minutes that he has, I don't think it's first fair to him, but also you have to be looking at subbing in somebody else.
I feel like I don't think anything went wrong for Tigres in the sense that this is what they have. You don't expect Tigres to get past. I didn't expect Tigres to get past the quarterfinal. I feel like was it
I
Necaxa?
thought Necaxa, yeah, I thought Necaxa were gonna. They
Yeah,
honestly were the better team.
Necaxa was a better team, but passing that. Look at the team they have. It's age. The average age is like what 32 years old. The youngest player I have is Osiel Herrera.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, let's look at the transfer market right now. Tigres supposedly want to bring in the Argentinian, from Atletico Madrid,
Oh
Correa.
yeah, Correa.
When the position in my eyes that they need a sub the fastest possible they can have is right back. Aquino.
Like even like goalkeepers start looking at somebody else. I know that they have a young Mexican goalkeeper. What's his name? Tapia. They have Tapia as a sub, and he did play like at the beginning of the season, but then Nahuel Guzman came back from injury, and I mean he had his good moments and his bad moments in Ligia. Overall, he had nothing but good moments, but he is an aging goalkeeper. He's about to turn 39, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of holes that they need to fill in, and just, I mean, we've been talking about this basically the whole season. It's just an aging squad that they need to just start letting some of these pieces go, like send them to retirement, bro, or get them into like Guilo Pizarro's like coaching position or something, because it's just not working out for them on the field.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. I think they're giving priority to positions they don't need right now. Where it's like
Mhm.
where I mean you have Osiel Herrera who's going to be competing with Uncle Correa for that position. It's just like I mean Osiel Herrera's a pretty decent pickup
Yeah,
already.
yeah. I think
But
he was usually one of their best players the league. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like you're reinforcing a position you don't need. Reinforce the right back position. Reinforce the goalies position, obviously.
Hmm.
But other than that, I mean, Tigres didn't really have anything that they could compete for to win a title. I mean, if Tigres made it, they would probably be saying America won it already.
Yeah, yeah. No, I completely agree. I think even Necaxa would have given a better game to Toluca than what Tigres did.
Yeah.
Because you got smacked 4-1 on
Yeah, they have,
aggregates.
and honestly, they've done the best they could with what they have. I mean, Pizarro got them to two semifinals. Conca Champions and Liga MX.
Yeah. So overall, I guess you're right. It's not horrible per se. Yeah, it's just basically just moving on some of these pieces.
Yeah,
Now, for Cruz Azul's perspective, I mean, you just have to feel so bad for them, and I feel like we say the same conversation like every time they get eliminated from America. It's just heartbreak after heartbreak, and it just doesn't stop. And then you see videos of like the aficionados like burning the jerseys, saying they're gonna stop supporting this fucking team. And I mean, it's fair, bro. After getting eliminated like consistently to the same fucking team, like it's got to be so annoying at some point. Like, I mean, what went wrong for Cruz Azul in your eyes?
honestly, it was just that goalkeeper's mistake. That
Yeah,
goalkeeper's mistake starts the downfall of that. And maybe it's I know who Kevin Mier is. I know what he's able to do. But I would have saw the fuck out of him. I saw him fast.
right after that, just send them to like fucking
I'd send him. I mean, there was
in Colombia or something.
I'd send them back. I don't give a fuck because I'd rather have a conservative goalie that can pick up the fucking ball and pass the ball and move it simply.
Or just
Than
let it go out. Like in that moment, it was just like, bro, just let it go out. You're ahead, you know?
than a flashy motherfucker that fucking
Does too much, just doing too much.
both of the last semifinals with America he's fucked up. One he was out of position and the other one with this bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
This
two
one
sides if you think about it.
and this one, like when you see the slow motion replay of how it went down, it looks just so, I don't want to say sold, but it's just like kindergarten mistakes, bro. As a professional goalkeeper playing in Mexico, like you cannot be doing stuff like that. Like especially having the advantage already, it just looks so bad, obviously. And then you see him like coming out of the vestidor at the end of the match, like all the some of the Cruz Azul fans that were still in the stadium, they were just booing him, and they're not gonna let that one go for sure.
No, I'd sell him as soon as I could. I'd
Right,
sell
and
him.
bro, the repercussions that come with what happened, like Vicente Sanchez up until that point was undefeated, like since he's been appointed, and
He's,
now he's gone because he got eliminated, and it's completely unfair towards him because he's done an incredible job.
he's done an incredible job. Think about it. He came in. Yes, they gave him about a full season, but it's just he came into a team that he didn't know with players that didn't know him, and he gained the respect. And there's players on that squad that didn't start this regular season, like Chiquete, that now they're starting because of him. So I mean, we'll see what the next coach picks.
Yeah. Oh, it was just, yeah. I mean, obviously, America also were a clear dominant force in the match. I mean, in the first 30 minutes, they created like 3, 4, 5 chances. They could have made the game swing their way the way they wanted to. But yeah, at that point, when Cruz Azul had the lead, it's just like, hold on. Like you had what there was like 30 minutes left of the game, like, and America had not scored from open play. Like they weren't gonna score from open play if that error didn't happen.
No,
So,
exactly. And
yeah, it was just when
this,
and then once America got that first goal, it was just the pendulums just swung complete opposite direction for America.
Russell had everything in their hands, everything. I mean, compared to last year where it was, 50-50, America was scoring, they were scoring.
Yeah,
And then they're up. The goalkeeper does the dumbass mistake again. But compared to this year, they were up, I mean, 2-0. 2-0,
clear.
playing defensively strong,
Mm-hmm.
going that deep. And it's just like, fuck.
Yeah,
If any of the years, this felt like the year that they would actually beat America. And it was just, it's fucking sold by the goalie.
yeah. But now that leads us to the final. I mean, it's going to be a great final no matter what. We have two very explosive teams, and We have the best offense in the league, Toluca, with 41 goals. We have the best defense in the league, America, who only received 10 goals. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup, a battle of two very powerful forces. Obviously, Turco Mohamed versus Jardine. That's the biggest storyline right now, given that these are two historic coaches in our league. And it's crazy that neither of them are Mexican. We have an Argentinian and a fucking Brazilian as the most historical ones. But it's true. It is what it is. Turco Mohamed has won 3 trophies with 3 different teams, could make it 4 for 4. And then Andre Jardine, who's made it 4 in a row, or who can make it 4 in a row. So, I mean, that's one of the things that I wanted to ask you before we get into our predictions, who's going to be the protagonist and all that. Like, what do you think would be harder for, or which one is harder? Yeah, overall, which one is harder? 4 in a row or 4 with 4 different teams?
Obviously, it's 4 with 4 different teams. Even Tuca Ferretti would agree because he said, I mean, he won with Chivas, Pumas, and Tigres. And then Turco won it, I mean, with America, well, Monterrey. He won it with Tijuana. And, I mean, that would be with Toluca, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tijuana, bro, winning a trophy with Tijuana. The Tijuana trophy.
Who had recently gone up too, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think there's no competition between that because it's like, think about it, if Jardine won it with America, if he would have won it with Cruz Azul, then you're thinking it wasn't just America, it was the mind behind America.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? He wins it with Cruz Azul, he wins it with Tigres and Monterrey or Chivas or Pumas or whoever the fuck else it is. You're thinking, fuck, Jardine is like the best coach ever. Which in our minds, that's what Tuca Ferretti is, one of the best coaches in Liga MX because he won it with so many different teams and with so many times with Tigres.
Yeah, and like obviously shorter amounts of time as well. I mean, obviously the hardest one was the one with Cholos, where it was just completely unexpected, right?
Yep.
Now, I also think that the 4 in a row is completely difficult because when you're thinking about a squad, I mean, you have to like to keep the competitiveness within the team. It's very hard to keep the team pushing for more and more every season. I mean, we see it with City, we see it with Barca or Bayern. Like obviously these teams they can do it every single year because I mean they have the funds. And I mean in Mexico too, I think you could argue for and against it being easier or harder. When you're with America, you have almost unlimited investment to bring in whoever you want. So I mean, they sold Quiñones, they sold Brian Rodriguez, they sold Richard Sanchez, they sold like a lot of key players that like Cabecita Rodriguez. They sold a lot of key players throughout the years and still have kept the team competitive, which I would say yes makes it a little easier for Jardine because I mean at the end of the day he has a very rich squad full of talent. But just like I said, I mean, some of these key figures like Fidalgo, Sendejas, these guys, Henry Martin, have been there consistently to keep them hungry for more every single year is also extremely difficult. But yeah, they're both like very important feats to reach regardless.
It's just look at this America squad's bench. They're quality. They're fucking stacked. They know if they're not performing, they're not eating. They're not playing.
Yeah.
So that motivates them too, that they have a fucking stacked ass bench. Look at every other team in Liga MX bench. They just have a solid starting 11 with 2 or 3 good players.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only one that you could argue has enough depth would be Cruz Azul. They have at least a 3-4 that can come on, you know?
Exactly. I mean, but that's just like 3-4 players. You're not thinking like, there's a whole new starting 11 competing just as strong as them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the difference. But if there's any team, well, I mean, fucking I forgot what creator said this the other day, but the argument of losing your virginity with the hooker, comparing it to winning a Champions League with Real Madrid. You know how it's like it's given.
Yeah.
He says the same thing with America winning a Liga MX title. If you're with America for 5 years, you're gonna at least win one.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just pretty much the fucking same thing. So if you're the coach of America and you stay there for 5 seasons, you're gonna win one.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna give you everything you need. They're gonna give you everybody you need. And I mean, it's just what it fucking is.
It's just putting in the work at that point.
Exactly. It's just at that point you have all the resources you need. Whereas if you go to Pumas, you don't have the fucking funds. If you go to Cruz Azul, you have everything except for the belief in your own fucking system sometimes.
Yeah. The mentality also is what kills them. Or if you go to like Santos or Mazatlan, like you have absolutely nothing to strive over there.
Like if Jardine won it with fucking Mazatlan, bro, I'd say he's the fucking greatest coach. If he
I'd
did,
be on my knees, like going to Mexico right now, just like going to Mazatlan.
that's why I think honestly, I think Dominic Torrent accomplishing what he has in Liga MX is pretty decent. It's
Yeah,
pretty fucking decent.
and
Even
that's
though
why
he
a lot
my final, it's pretty fucking decent because of the players he had, of the team he had, of the depth he didn't have,
but it made it work.
and made it work.
Now let's just look at the final overall. Who do you think is going to be the main protagonist? We'll start with players. Yeah, obviously, yeah. 'Cause I was going to say you can throw in the coaches, but yeah, who do you think is going to be the main protagonist from the players? From each team, from Toluca and from America.
I think it's difficult because, at least in the final, the main players are usually silenced up until like one big play
Mm-hmm.
because they're
Do
so
you
well.
feel like it's going to be like that for specifically? I mean, talking about Alexi Vega, he's the best player in the league. You
I
think
feel
it'll
like
be like
they're gonna try to do something with Alexi Vega. I don't know if they'll be able to because if it's
they're gonna send him off in the first 20 minutes if he does a little wrong tackle or something.
uh,
And
the ref. I'm scared of the ref.
that's the only thing I hope about this final is that I hope the ref is not the main protagonist. Like I want the players to actually showcase their abilities. Like I don't want El Gato Ortiz to be the main protagonist or Cesar Ramos. Like I just want it to be the players. I don't want to focus on only football.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, I fucking hate it when the ref wants to be like the little diva on the field, but it is what it is. But I feel like the main protagonist might be Alexis Vega for Toluca, but I also feel like Canelo could get in there.
Mhm.
I'd say Marcel, but I mean this season he's been a solid six, but he
Yeah.
doesn't really get much. He goes forward, but it's not as much like as Alexis Vega and Canelo Angulo, or even the the Brazilian, what's his name?
Helinho,
Helinho, yeah. So
or
it's
the striker.
the
He's
striker.
a he's
The striker
Portuguese.
they have a really good striker.
Yeah. I feel like he hasn't scored too many goals. I mean, in the last few matches, I could
Just the way that how he gets involved with the team. I mean, he's not a pure striker, but he knows how to touch the ball going forward,
yeah, yeah.
which is
I,
that's
I agree. I agree with you where you say Alexis Vega. I think Alexis Vega is going to be the main guy, whether he scores or assists or just creates plays out of nothing. There's going to be something because I mean he's a special player. Special players make things happen. They make moments happen, and that's all he's going to need is just one moment. So I agree with that. And now for America, I mean they have more than like one or two, or even more than three players that you can say this guy could be the main protagonist. And you're looking at guys like Zendejas or Fidalgo, Henry Martin. Is Brian Rodriguez is fit? Brian Rodriguez as well. I don't know if he's going to be ready to start, but at least off of the bench, like as an impact, definitely could be a protagonist as well. I'm just going to go play it safe from on my end. I'm going to go with Henry Martin because I mean he had a goal and assist in the last match, and although he's not my favorite kind of striker, the work that he does off of the ball, or at least just holding up play, is pretty impeccable. You can't deny that.
El
So I'm going to go with Henry Martin as the main protagonist.
cansa defensas. When was the last time Henry Martin scored a goal from open play?
I don't honestly. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Maybe for Mexico, for against Honduras. I don't know.
Mexico versus fucking Barbados.
Barbados. I don't know. It's been a while because yeah, the last goal he scored was off the penalty. He had an assist, but I mean he's been struggling with injury almost all season. So
Yeah.
but he looks like he's in good form. I mean, I don't know if he'll score, but I could see him at least involved in a moment for America in these two legs.
Yeah.
What about you? Who do you think would be the main for America?
I think it's probably gonna be Sendejas or Fidalgo.
Yeah, I mean, Zendejas always shows up in finals, and we've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah. I mean he's a pretty decent player.
Hmm. So yeah, I agree. Now, last thing, let's go to predictions. Who do you think is winning the final? We don't have to go for a scoreline because I know it's going to be pretty difficult. Both teams score a lot. Both teams, it's going to be too difficult to predict a score. But let's just go for a clear out winner. Who's going to be the one to win and lift a trophy?
I think it might be Toluca. I feel like
Yeah,
Toluca is one of those places. I mean, we've seen it when La Selección played there. You feel the fucking atmosphere. I,
that's yeah. You're right.
and Toluca fans, they're not fucking. they're not like Chivas and America fans. You don't find them everywhere in Mexico. You don't find them in fucking from Baja California to Yucatan. You don't find that shit. They're strictly from right there, from Toluca. They've been there. I
Their
mean,
whole
their whole life they supported that team. Their whole fucking life. I mean, I think it's gonna be the atmosphere is gonna be big, and closing at Toluca is gonna be something big as well.
yeah. That's the most important part is that the fact that they're closing and they've closed this whole year. We saw they lost in the game against Monterrey. They could easily lose this first leg, but it's the second leg that all teams have to worry about. That America specifically have to worry about. They have to actually kill Toluca on that first leg if they want to win this trophy. Because once it goes back to Toluca, I don't see Toluca not winning in their home. They have not lost at all. So yeah, I think this is Toluca's final as well. I think the Once is destined finally for them. I think Alexis Vega more than deserves it. I think it's going to be a beautiful story for Turco Mohamed as well. It's a team that has suffered a lot in the past 15 years. They haven't won a trophy.
And if there's
So
one coach that knows how to beat America, it's Turco.
he's the last one to ever beat America in a final. So I completely agree. I think it's going to be Toluca lifting up the trophy. The dynasty for America has to come to an end at some point. And if this, I think this is the moment. I think this is the moment because this is the best Toluca team that I've ever seen in my lifetime, and they have incredible quality, and they're gonna play the game in Toluca in their stadium. We know that it's a pressure cooker there. We know it's probably the best environment in Liga MX, along with probably Tigres Stadium. But that stadium is just like it's almost like a European style stadium. Like, bro, there's no way at home closing that game like that they lose this final. I don't think there's any way. So let me know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys think. Comment down below your predictions. Who's going to be the main protagonist of this match? Tomas, thank you so much for hopping on. Make sure you come back after tomorrow's game. Actually, yeah, maybe the day after tomorrow, the day after the first leg. Make sure you come back as we'll do a recap, and definitely after the second leg as well. We'll talk all things Liga MX regarding this final. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.